First of all, I'd like to apologize for keeping all you beautiful people waiting. I just arrived from Port Moresby this afternoon and came straight from there. Haven't even had a shower, so bear with me. So I couldn't keep you guys waiting, and I headed straight to the Lake International Hotel to join this very illustrious program of professionals that sit in this room. And was up at 4 o'clock this morning with the Anzac Day memorials in Port Moresby, so it's been a long day, but couldn't have avoided this. I really wanted to come and join you guys here this evening. So bear with me if I swerve around the track a bit, and I'd like to first of all acknowledge all the important dignitaries here at this illustrious event. I'd like to also acknowledge Madame President, the outgoing President of the Institute of Engineers, Mrs. Boraga, that's sitting next to me, so a big hand for her. Not often you see a strong woman at the helm of a very professional society like that. I'm a big advocate for women, and having women in this sort of professional institute is very encouraging. You see Papua New Guinean women doing extraordinary things these days, flying planes, flying helicopters, driving highway trucks. I drove past a highway truck and this big, I think Mapa it was. Man, the lady that hopped out of the big auto was a bloke, but she was a woman and was driving a big 22-wheeler. So all kudos to her, driving forklifts, in all sorts of work in our beautiful country. But that goes to show that what has moved from 30 years ago to where we are now. Not putting all us men folk down, but women, we should encourage them, especially in our country, Papua New Guinea, and give them more credit. Very proud of them. Also, I would like to acknowledge our Secretary for Works, young Gibson, I call him. I'm every second day on the phone with him. young Gibson, and then I think he's getting pissed off with me because, but I've known Gibson for a long time, since he's been a young bloke here in Ley as a young trainee engineer, and look at him. The sky's the limit. He's now the Secretary for the Department of Work. That's very professional. And he's now our new President of the Institute of Engineers. And as you pointed out, holding the head of the Institute of Engineers and also as head of the National Department of Works and Highways. What an illustrious career that's gone. Anyone could be proud of. We also have sitting at our table the Vice Chancellor, my old friend, Dr. Renagi. We've been mates for a long time and always have discourses and interchanges and stuff, but you've produced many fine students from your university, and you've been part and parcel of the development of Ley and also the development of Papua New Guinea. So I'd like to acknowledge you. CEO for IEPNG too, Benedict, it's really good to see you again. As old blokes, all have to keep on one table and keep the young blokes away from us. Distinguished engineers, owners of companies, construction companies, sponsors, technical professionals, industry leaders, invited guests, friends, and any other VIPs, including our notorious president for the Ley Chamber of Commerce, the other guy who looks like me, sitting in the corner there, John, good to see you, and all other distinguished people who sit here today, including if there's any students that from Unitec sitting here too. It's good for you guys to interact, mingle with the professionals here sitting in this room. It is an honor to join you all tonight at this annual dinner of the Institute of Engineers of Papua New Guinea, a flagship event that brings together some of the finest minds and hands shaping the infrastructure, economy, and future of our country. As the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister responsible also for lands and immigration, like our good Secretary pointed out, even I didn't realize I had so many caps to wear. But it's been a busy job and role. But I am pleased to be here in my hometown of Lae. And for you visitors, welcome to beautiful Garden City of Lae. And also Papua New Guinea's industrial heartbeat, among a community whose work underpins every road we travel, every bridge we cross, every wharf we dock at, every airport we land at, and every infrastructure system we depend on. These are the professionals in this room. Tonight's gathering on the occasion of your annual general meetings and engineering expo is more than a formal dinner. It is a celebration of achievement, collaboration, and national progress. More importantly, it is a reaffirmation of your mission. IEPNG's mission is engineering for a better Papua New Guinea. The Institute's mission to enhance the quality of life of the people of Papua New Guinea by the responsible and creative application of engineering. I'm true on all that. It's a noble profession, a very noble one. And it is timely because the future we envision for Papua New Guinea, a future of modern, resilient infrastructure, efficient public utilities, and thriving industries can only be built by dedicated professionals like yourselves sitting here. Professional engineers, professional technicians, and companies in this field. It can only be built by dedicated professionals. You are not just designing structures, you are designing the foundations of national development. Every road we drive on, as I pointed out earlier, every bridge we drive on, every structure that is done, is built by contractors and engineers. And as I think I missed out on this, but it was pointed out to me at the table by Dr. Renage, is that whilst they build managers in Port Moresby at UPNG, at Unitech, they do build technocrats that then make certain these guys have places or roads or buildings to work and thrive in. No offense. The responsibilities and the responsible application of engineering, as your mission states, demands ethics, foresight, and sustainability. The creative application of engineering demands innovation, agility, and vision. And I reflect back on our good Secretary's words. The important thing, it demands ethics, it demands standards, it demands sustainability. And this is what I would like to point out again. You as engineers, as professionals, as contractors have a duty, a mandate, I should say, for all of us. It is your duty and mandate to ensure that the structures, the bridges, the roads, all pass the test of sustainability. Do not compromise your integrity. Because when I drive past a road that has cracks in it, or potholes in it after 6 months, I don't blame the contractor. I blame the lowering of standards by the engineering fraternity and whoever supervised the road. I put it fully at your feet. Because it is your duty to ensure standards and ethics are kept in the construction of that particular infrastructure, either a road, either a bridge, a superhighway, a wharf. Contractors, like what I used to be before, all depend on supervision, design, and professionalism from the engineers that supervise us. And if you lower your standards, we as contractors can take advantage of that. A lot of people blame politicians for a lot of things in this world, and sometimes some are yes and some are not. A politician is only as good, he's a manager, is only as good as the people around him. Similar to companies, you can have a successful enterprise. Similar to armies, you can have a successful general, but that general sits beside a desk. His men sit out there and fight and die for him. A company, the owner sits behind the desk and visits you once in a while. He has the ideas, the money, the visions, but the technical expertise is done by the professionals that are in the field. And it is similar to politicians. A lot of people blame things on politicians in our country. Social media, if my phone could talk, it'd probably start crying. But when you look at it, we are only as good as the people around us. If we do not have a good works secretary, and if he does not have good engineers, the Connect PNG program will not work effectively. The bridges we build, the wharves we build, the highways, the ports, the airports, everything comes down to professionalism. We were sitting in cabinet one time, and cabinet is a very interesting place to sit in. And everyone, I pointed out to people, I said, why has the Hagen airport sometimes not open for any Guinea to come? Why is the Tokyo airport closed and has to be reconstructed for the last 4 times? And why has the Nazareth airport never ever been touched? And we enjoy, I always proudly say, we enjoy 5 flights a day, every time, 90% on time. Flying on the Leh Express, on a 737, landing in an airport at night, in a beautiful terminal. Why is it? Because the engineering standards practiced at Nazareth Airport was of the highest quality. We insisted that it be so. Whereas the qualities at Hagen Airport was not of the highest quality. That's why when the planes landed, they had to redo the airport time and time again. That is why Tokyo Airport had to be redone time and time again, costing time, money, effort, productivity, and inconvenience to many, many, many people. So if you do it right and keep your ethics, professionalism to the highest standard, you save money for government, and you save time, efficiency, and most of all, your own ethics and integrity. So we depend on you. We depend on you. Your professionalism should be always held at the highest quality. Do not compromise when you do a slump test. Do not compromise when the subgrades are not done properly or your sub-base gravel is not done properly. Do not compromise on your cement. Do not compromise on anything else. You must make certain that you follow the standards, the ethics, and professionalism to the utmost quality and visible. And that is my calling and appeal to all you professionals sitting in this room. Because I am not the one building the roads. I am not the one building the bridges. I'm not the one building the walls. It is you professionals that are building the pillars and and foundation of Papua New Guinea. I only allocate the money. And I would like to reiterate that this call is an important one. And I would like to also applaud the Institute of Engineers, the professional body, for continuously holding this and trying to ensure that standards are kept. I'd like to say a big, big thank you. And it is not only the Institute of Engineers, it is also the Institute of Lawyers, architects, accountants. All our professional bodies need to be able to hold all the members accountable. Hold them to the highest standard of ethics and professionalism. And once you do that, then we will have excellent outcomes for court cases, professional. We'll have excellent accountants, holding those standards and ethics. We have excellent engineers and architects that we can count on and that can help build the basis of a country called Papua New Guinea. And not just here, everywhere else in the world. Your profession is a noble one that sets foundations and standards for our nation's infrastructure and development, which is why I appeal to all you professionals. Once again, do not lower standards, do not compromise. I used to be a contractor, I know. I know that sometimes we contractors like to pull shortcuts, but we are not able to pull those shortcuts if we have a good policeman standing behind us, and that policeman is the people who supervise us. And like the good secretary pointed out, I was a contractor for about 25 years, was part of my past life, and it's a very interesting life, I must say. It's being a contractor in this environment, cutting roads through Warasikau to Nuku, cutting the Maitaji Road, sailing all the way to New Island on the back of a boat, cutting roads from Whippin to Oriamo, all the roads that no one else wanted to do, I did. It was a risky job, and some of those engineers now sit in the table here. I look around and see them. Some have become businessmen, like Edwin Rumba, sitting in the corner somewhere. Edwin used to work for me as a young engineer. And someone who's still here with me is Megan Matahaino, a female engineer that is now our city's engineer. And I'd like to compliment Megan also that when I asked for Megan to come and assist me when we started the city, Megan dropped the job, took a pay cut of nearly 50%, and came and started the hard yards with me to try to start off Lay City Authority. With her sort of expertise and experience, she could have found a job anywhere else in the world. But she decided to come back and help us in Lay to run the city that we call Lay. The Institute of Engineers, Papua New Guinea, Annual Expo and General Meeting in 2025 centers on the theme, the role of engineering in sustainable and infrastructural development, economic independence and technical innovation in Papua New Guinea. This theme underscores the critical role engineers play in shaping a resilient and self-reliant nation. By focusing on sustainable infrastructure, engineering contributes to long-term environmental stewardship and climate resilience. Today, in a world that has huge climate challenges, this is very critical to ensure engineering standards are kept to that standard so that we can be able to have climate resilience in a lot of our structures. Pointing out, one of them was up at Mudzi. Climate changes have contributed to that. Look at what happened at the Goroka University, where brand new dormitories for students collapsed because of climate change and structural movements in a tectonic plate somewhere. Infrastructural development enhances connectivity and access to essential services fostering our country's economic growth. Technical innovation, driven by engineering expertise, propels Papua New Guinea towards economic independence by reducing reliance on external technologies and promoting homegrown solutions. The national content policy recently introduced by our government is our blueprint for ensuring that Papua New Guineans are not just participants but leaders in our development journeys. It is about increasing local technical capacity, strengthening institutions, and maximizing value retention within our borders. And I was really happy to hear from our Vice Chancellor again, pointing out that now the University at Unitec is accredited to the Washington Accord. That means our engineers can be able to work anywhere in the world. And we just had a discussion that we must make, whilst we pursue that dream, we must also produce a climate that our students who come out from Unitec also must learn to, one, ethics, accountability, standards, coming to work on time, making certain you do your due diligence. Too many young people I know, and I've owned companies, they come to work at 8 o'clock, do their hard yards, go home at 5 o'clock, and wonder why they don't get a pay rise. The guy who sits till 10 o'clock, doesn't complain. Bosses are not stupid. Companies are not ignorant. They sit and watch you, and this is a lesson. They watch your attendance, your attitude, your ethics, and when they see that, they will personally push and groom you to become a better person, and within no time, you can become someone like Gibson Holemba, at his age, running the Department of Works for Papua New Guinea, and many other young people sitting here. Or you can become someone like Edmund Rubam and go and make a contracting company out there somewhere. For engineers, this means several things. It means ensuring that project designs and delivery strategies give preference to local engineers and technicians. It means investing in skills transfer, apprenticeships and mentorships for young Papua New Guineans. You can work anywhere in the world. The world is your oyster, but it comes back to your personal attributes also. You can have a master's degree. You can have 3 master's degrees, but if you don't come with ethics, transparency, honesty, loyalty to company, and professionalism and standards, you will get nowhere else in the world. It comes with sheer perseverance and hard work. It means collaborating also with government to align infrastructure and industry projects with national priorities and standards. In short, it means building Papua New Guinea with Papua New Guinea talent, working cohesion with other developers for our country and for PNG. And I say again, ethics, transparency, standards. I cannot say that enough. This is what our country needs to put in front of us. Whilst we graduate good engineers, and again applauding University of Technology, we also must ensure that they come out with those skills, work ethics, to ensure we have a good workforce. Papua New Guinea is an expanding country. It needs a lot of doctors. It needs a lot of engineers. It needs a lot of things. This country will boom. It is booming. But it comes back to us as professionals. As professionals, instead of pointing the fingers, a lot of people I always see point fingers. No one always looks back and says, could I have done that better? Everyone complains about little things, like throwing rubbish on the streets. You walk past and you throw rubbish down in a bin, but you see, the worst offenders are educated people. They throw rubbish on the streets, they spit buai on the street footpath, they open those VXs and spit buai again out of the street. If we change our attitude, disciplined ourselves, imagine how much we would save. Planting man sa tok-tok, rabi siya lo, government ba pikim, workman ba pikim. But this workman pikim is paid by your tax. And Leh City Authority spends 10 million kina of your tax every year picking up after you with your rubbish. So if you discipline yourself and you discipline your tribe and your family and your immediate family unit, imagine everyone, that would be a force multiplier. A force multiplier because everyone follows your attitude as professionals. And these are little things that we need to do as citizens of this country so that we be able to prosper. We should stop complaining. We should always say, hey, what can I do to fix it? Should I pick this rubbish? Is the yard in front of my house clean? Am I being lazy? Am I sitting watching my neighbor's wife getting beaten up? I should go out and stop it. These are little things that we all should do as professionals, as educated people, to ensure that our country becomes a better place for everyone. And listening again to Professor, for the university to prosper and produce good students with a world vision to work anywhere in the world, we need to introduce students to come here to go to study. Students from Asia, for example, that would like to live in a good environment. But what do we need to fix? We need to build better facilities, and myself and yourself and everyone else needs to make certain Leh becomes a conducive environment for everyone else to come and work and participate in. If Leh becomes a conducive environment, then we get more industries being created. We get more tourism coming into Papua. We spend less on security. We spend more on other things. Those are things that we can do very quickly to ensure that Leh and PNG becomes that environment. And I keep on saying, less complaining, be more productive. Let yourself be an example. When I first started in 2017 as a member, and everyone might be boring, but I was sort of a reluctant, you might not believe it, but I was a reluctant politician. Now going to maybe love the job. So. But being a reluctant politician, I was petitioned by 4,000 moms from the settlements to run. I was thinking, like everyone else, I complained. I said, I'll get in there and I'll fix the place and I'll do this and I'll do that. Believe me, nothing. It is totally different from what you see on that side from what I see on this side. Totally different. Totally different. So after 5 years, I said, shit, we're only just halfway through. We need to do a little bit more. But slowly, with the help of most of these people sitting in this room, nearly all of you guys, I'm very privileged to be the member for Leh because my citizens have been really outstanding. They don't pester me. No one comes to my house asking for money, which is extraordinary. And those citizens and the businesses in Leh have always helped in one way or the other to try to see that we can make our city a better place. And you can see the results. In the whole of Papua New Guinea, Leh has dropped its major crime by nearly 80%. If you lived in Leh in the 1980s, we were called the cowboy capital of Papua New Guinea. You go to the airport, you get robbed 6 times before you hit Naja. No joke. So, I can't do it alone. I need every single person in this room to help me also. And the country needs it too. Inspiring our next generation. To our young engineers in the room tonight, this is also your moment. Learn, listen, respect. Do not think you always know everything. Even me at this stage, I always listen to other people. I always listen to other people. Take advice, listen to them, make informed, calculated decisions. Common sense is very important in a lot of things we do. Do not say, yes, me only degree finish, misa or something. That, it doesn't happen that way. There are a lot more smarter people out there in the world. The most smarter person is listening. Listen to other people and then make informed, common sense judgments. This is your moment. Step forward with confidence. This country needs you more than ever, amongst many, many challenges. But there is a lot of hope for our country. You're not merely solving technical problems, you're solving national challenges. You're building the foundations of a nation that is 50 years old and will be around for the next 100 years. You're the ones who will build the roads that link our villages, the ports that connect us to global markets, the hospitals and schools that uplift our people, the airports, and to the senior engineers and professionals, keep mentoring, keep teaching, keep instilling ethics, discipline, and standards, keep inspiring. The torch of excellence must be passed on. It is your duty, it is our duty. Not just through textbooks and tools, but through living examples and shared wisdom.